Kablam!
Cold brew got me like.
Hello. Welcome to the Thunderdome.
It's Texas where I am.
Thunderdome. I'm Tina Turner. Greg is her muscular saxophone player who has a chain for a
No, I'm
for a
Ike
sax.
Turner.
Who are you? Mel
Ike.
Gibson?
Ike.
Who's Ike?
Ike Turner, right?
No. Well, you can. First of all, Ike Turner's a monster.
I know.
Second of all,
I know. You're not educating.
Right. Well, let's start off on the wrong foot. I'm talking about Thunderdome. I'm talking about when you don't need another hero. We don't need another way home, or whatever the fuck it was. And the Tina Turner, remember that thing was on the fucking MTV all day, every day for like 6 months.
She had a wig on for 6 months too.
Yeah, but you remember her saxophone player, the oiled up like bodybuilder guy?
Yes,
That's what I was calling you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I should just
Much hotter guy than Ike Turner. Ike Turner looked like a heavy smoker.
But he looked like he was actually in the Road Warrior.
Ooh, her muscular
Not
saxophone
the Road
player?
Warrior. What was that movie
Yeah,
called?
Road Warrior, then Beyond Thunderdome.
Oh, yeah.
The first one was Mad Max. But Mad Max is very good. The Road Warrior, I don't remember. I haven't seen that one in quite a while.
I had a
steampunk.
pizza party when I was 10. I had kids over to watch Road Warrior and have Tony's Pizzas.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a pretty rough movie for how old? 10 years old?
Whenever it was, it must have been whatever year it came out.
I bet it came out in 84, 83, 80, well, maybe 81, actually. I don't know. No, it couldn't have been 81 because we were just talking about before me and Greg. First of all, welcome to Cold Brew Got Me Like every Wednesday at 6:30
got me
Pacific.
Like.
Except for next week.
82. So I was 10.
Oh, wow.
I was turning 11 September.
Because Road Warrior's got nudity in it and graphic steampunk. Do you know what steampunk is, Greg?
Yeah, of course. The guy with the big bikes and the.
Yeah, they like old equipment. People who are fetishize old, because they were talking about, I was watching this abandoned mine video where it's all loaded with like early 1900s air compressors and stuff. And some guy who's exploring the mine was like, "This is a steampunk's dream," or maybe it was in the comments. So these people it's like the aesthetic of Blade Runner, where it's kind of like the future, but it's retro at the same time. Anyway, they like old dentist chairs and shit like that. So they would love, like Road Warrior. They were probably like, whooping off watching the Road Warrior.
What was
Sorry
that guy
to
with
say
the?
whooping off. I love when Greg just made a face and just skipped over whooping off. My friend from Texas told me about whooping off.
It's Texas where I am.
Our friend Tommy, he said, Tommy knew this guy who had sex with a bunch of farm animals. And then he said when he got to the cultivator, and this was the guy himself bragging about having sex with animals, it was one of Tommy's relatives in Texas. And that's why these people need ivermectin. So anyway, he said that when he came to the cultivator, which is a piece of equipment, he didn't know what to do, so he whooped off on it, which I'd never, it means masturbate, but I never heard whooped off. It's a real stunner. If you want to say that at a party, I mean, just for fun, instead of, if you're not just out of nowhere, but if you're already about to say masturbating, if you say whooped off, people will be like, wow, what the hell's that? And it's kind of fun. Here's party tips for psychopaths. Hey, guess what?
What?
I'm actually feeling pretty good, and I'm about to ruin it with, why won't Stumptown fucking get their act together and sponsor me? Look at this, you assholes. Stumptown.
It's a little dark. You need some more light for promos to happen.
Well, I'll get one after fucking Stumptown sends me a spotlight and a lifetime supply of fucking Dat Brew. That's right. I said Dat Brew too. So listen, yeah. So here's what Stumptown gets right now. Because Stumptown won't sponsor us and they're being rude. Here's what they get. Hey, I'm about to drink Stumptown, the world's stupidest coffee.
Has Jot contacted you
fucking
yet?
Sucks. Just sucks again. Totally sucks. Hey, Stumptown, you want me to say your coffee's good? Send us some. I'll put it in a French press just like that idiot put the 8 o'clock coffee in a French press. Send me any product. I'll say it's good. How's that sound?
Have you been contacted by Jot yet?
No, but I have some Jot right here. Watch this. I have two things going for me right now. It's so hot out here again. I'm out in California. I've got a bear story if anyone wants to hear it. I woke up last night in the middle of the night and a bear completely destroyed like 7 garbage bags full of like really, really full of food. And I had to clean it up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I heard a bunch of ruckus. The garbage cans are seriously about 8 feet from my front door. And a bear came out in last night and I heard it. I hear him getting knocked over. And I thought, well, maybe it's not that late. It was like maybe 1:30 and I heard the sound of a garbage can, but I thought maybe one of the kids, one of my landlord's teenage kids was throwing something away in the middle of the night, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it was a fucking bear and I came outside and it was a massacre. I mean, it was just like, just like moldy corn cobs and the whole works. And I had to clean it all up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I wiped myself off with alcohol, like all my arms and stuff. Because I was like, I don't know what bear spit has in it.
Yeah, that's important. Did you hear about the dog? Well, it was probably in Tennessee. He got his head stuck in a cheese puff container, and the Tennesseans went after him like crazy. They rescued the dog. They cornered him and got the plastic jug off of his head.
What? What are you talking about?
It was a Tennessee news item.
What happened? Let me say it again. I kind of was zoning out. I was looking at the chat. I can see the chat really well today.
Just speaking about animals and bears and eating, I thought about honey jars and a bear with a honey jar on top of it. And its head. Well, a Labrador that I think was homeless was going through garbage and he got a cheese ball, like a 5-pound bucket.
Oh, no way.
And he's got his head stuck in there like a scuba diver.
Oh, fuck.
And he was taken off through the counties. And
so
people had to track him down. And some guys lassoed him. And
that's terrible.
And now he's adopted. So
wow, that's crazy. So plastics are even affecting land animals. You think mostly just about like dolphins and stuff getting their heads stuck in, but bears are dogs are getting their heads stuck in fucking Cheeto buckets. That's horrible. That's terrible. And you're right. They do look like old-time scuba divers, probably.
I take the news at face value, and then you put some context to it. That I feel like that's the same as your analysis of Jeff Bezos going to space.
Well, it's terrible. It's another. Next thing you know, it'll be kids with their heads stuck in Cheeto buckets.
I was like, a rich guy went up to space. Oh well. And then you're like, that's a goddamn flying. Fucking, it's the most horrible thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you have to be really mad about everything, and then you have a unique perspective of being mad about everything. Like, I'm mad about that too. God damn it, you're mad about that? Yeah. You're not going to believe it. And it's all because Jesus took my hair. Jesus took my hair when I was a young man, and I've never forgiven him. And I will rage against all of his creations. Sorry. Oh, this coffee already just got me talking about Jesus.
But we were talking about. Oh yeah, here's folks there.
Imagine that poor dog. That dog, like, if that dog was born in like 1600, nothing that horrible could have ever happened to it. That dog was like, "What the hell is this? Like, what am I in a?" I mean, he probably had no idea what was happening. He probably thought he had on. I don't know what. He probably thought he'd done something very bad. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I've really been bad." I mean, I don't know what he would think. He would just think, I don't know what he would think. 1 minute he would just have a normal head, and the next thing you know, he's running for his life with inside a dome or whatever it is.
I'm being constantly attacked by a plastic invader.
Yes. What happened? What did I do? I didn't mean to do it. What did I do? I've been good. I also like that you called the dog homeless, which is nice. Most people call him stray.
Oh.
A homeless dog.
Yeah. Well, I think it was good too because, most people are just driving around with their trucks in Tennessee, putting in 60 gallons of gas and burning it and then going to their stupid jobs. And suddenly this dog had to be rescued. So the people in Tennessee had a point to their existence besides creating economic widgets. They were focused.
Yes, that's true.
And
that's
they
exactly right.
Rescued this dog.
That's nice. Yes. And that's right. You see what should be happening instead of people looking at their phones and being mad about things happening in fucking 7,000 miles from where they are. They could be fucking taking care of local dogs, but it takes one that has its head in a fucking Cheeto fucking barrel to get people out of their ass, to get their people's heads out of their asses. It's really true. That's exactly right. Like everybody's like, oh man, I'm so mad at whoever. I'm mad at Kirsten Sinema's blocking the fucking pharmaceutical bill. Holy shit, there's a dog with an old-time diving helmet on it. Everybody help. And all of a sudden, nobody's a Republican and nobody's a Democrat. They're just helping the fucking dog get the goddamn Cheeto basket off his head. And then, of course, they just go right back to normal and then, go back to watching, tragedy pornography on their phone and eating, and emptying Cheez-It barrels into their face and then throwing them in the yard, guaranteeing that there's more animals wandering around looking through an orange fish tank.
Listening to Ted Cruz and what he said. Actually, Ted Cruz is
so mad at Ted Cruz. It makes me eat extra ones of these Cheetos.
God damn it, my cruise control just went out.
Whenever I get mad at Ted Cruz, I eat even more of these Cheetos. And then my backyard just fills up with them barrels. And next thing you know, every dog's running around the neighborhood like a goddamn kangaroo.
Apparently, this dog was a fast-moving, with the bucket on its head. He went through several counties, I think, somehow.
Well, yeah, that's what I do whenever I get a fucking Cheeto barrel stuck on my head. I head to the next county. I get in the mood for traveling whenever I got a plastic jail on my head. Oh, God, it's so bad. Yeah, he's like, what did I do? I got to get out of here.
He turned into Carl Lewis for dogs.
Maybe someone will save him. Or do you think they just took off his hat and then just put him back on the street? Oh, you said someone rescued him.
They rescued him, yeah.
Man, that's what a dog's got to do to get rescued. Now all the dogs are putting all the homeless dogs are putting fucking Cheeto domes on their head. Hello? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? The dogs are putting them on themselves.
Yeah, so I got distracted. I was thinking about how Tennessee's the home of the news of the weird, and just how, every night someone's wrapping a chain around an ATM that's inside a convenience store and ripping it out of the store. And that's just one of the news items that happened overnight. Looks like Circle K lost another ATM. Back to you, George. You remember those stores?
And you ask those people after they rip an ATM out of a store, they ask them if they're getting vaccinated, and they're like, it's a personal decision. I'm going to talk to my doctor. You have a doctor? I don't have a doctor, and I don't steal ATMs. Fuck.
And they never get any cash out of those ATMs either. They just destroy the entire store and drag the thing through the parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, talk about man. Only a convenience store. They must have slang for what happens when the ATM's hauled out through the. They must have a name for it. Did you hear about Jim's store? It got, whatever it is. I don't know what would they call it? Got struck by lightning last night. Oh fuck! They fucking tore the ATM out of it. Yep.
Mr. Cash got hogtied.
Yeah. You hear about Mr. Cash getting hogtied over at Jim's? What? They stole the ATM. Aren't you familiar with the slang? Looks like old Jim's ATM got the chrome claw last night. What? You know, they hauled it out through the front doors. The whole front of a store was wrecked. Didn't have a single Swisher Sweet left in that place.
Well, no one wants to work for Amazon, so they take to doing the Iron Claw. I mean,
Fuck yeah, I'm not against. I'm saying fuck. I mean, are you kidding me? I wish I had the fucking balls to fucking tear ATMs out of stores instead of getting a job. I love
Cold
that.
brew got me
It's
like.
like Billy the Kid shit. I mean, more power to you. If you're in the kind of mood to pull an ATM straight through the fucking front doors of a goddamn business in 2021, you know, you're up there with like anonymous hackers. Like, I think those anonymous like hacker people would be like, nicely done. You know, like a unique moment where they agree on something. The rural. I mean, it's meth. I think usually it gives you that kind of energy. That's the problem. I mean, I would say 99% of the people who decide to rip an ATM out of a store are artificially stimulated. I mean, you're not going to get many people who are sober being like, let's go get a fucking ATM and rip it out of the building. I think that's usually a substance related decision. That's like sex positions, you know? I used to do that in a stand-up bit. You know, I think sex positions are only like people who have been up for 4 days try these sex positions because they've already done all the other stuff that you can do in 4 days awake.
Yes.
You know, they're like, all right, we already tore an ATM out of the fucking front doors of that place. You want to try the Dirty Sanchez? Not really. Well, what are you going to do with this fucking ATM?
I'm picturing the partner, like it's two people doing it, and the decoy goes in and fills up a 96-ounce Mountain Dew while his partner wraps the chain around the machine.
Yeah. Might as well. They look at each other while he's like, what are you doing? He's like, might as well.
And then the cashier's like, oh, that guy's getting a lot of Mountain Dew. And his friend's wrapping the chain around the machine.
Oh, you think they do it while it's open? Now that would be something. Sir, what is that? Oh, it's just my wallet chain. It's very thick.
Oh my God, that's hurting my ears. You're always
Just
thinking
distracted.
of the context.
Get the biggest Mountain Dew, and I'm gonna fucking wrap that chain around when this guy's not looking. Don't go talk to the guy about how hot it's been lately. Kablow! Oh fuck!
Fill up another one. I'm not finished yet.
God damn it! I wonder if any meth people have ever like stolen an ATM and then been disappointed because they thought it was like a Pac-Man or something. Brought it back home. They're like, God damn, this isn't a video game. Fuck. And then they open it up and the die comes out. Because I think even if you steal an ATM, like the first thing that happens if you hack into that thing is you get blasted in the face with paint. And then you're like red for like 4 days and then you can't go anywhere.
Not funny you should say that. Not if you're James Caan and Thief.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about Thief earlier.
Yeah.
How many people? Ask people in the chat if they've seen Thief. I love I pointed to the chat like you had to go talk to him. Greg, ask those people.
Let's see.
Has anyone seen Thief with James Caan? There's a big delay here, so we're not going to find out in about 10 minutes. Okay, there's somebody. Oh, yeah. That's Barb. Miss Happy Sunshine is Barb. She loves Thief. What does that say?
Nope.
Cold Brew got me like, hey, Chris. Oh, hey, chat. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe and stuff so you can get emojis that look like us, I think. All right. So, yeah. So, Greg, you saw Thief on the Criterion channel?
Yeah, and apparently you saw it. You know, I first saw it 30 years ago, probably on my own. And I guess you said you saw it a different time.
My dad, who went through Greg's dad as well. Our dad went through many periods, some inactive where he was depressed, and then some where he was pretty active. Like he had a boat, sailed a boat around for a while, and he bowled for a while and actually had bowling shoes. And the funny thing about dad is if you tell him he had these things, he's like, what? I did not. Never. What I do? I never went bowling.
He had a 12-speed as well.
Yeah, he doesn't remember this shit. But yeah, my dad like had these. Our dad had these sort of like. He was pretty active at various times because I always think of him as sort of a depressive type, but he did a lot of shit. But one of the things he did was he went to the movies sometimes, and he took me to see Thief. It was the first rated R movie I ever saw. I think I was in 6th grade. Someone asked, "Is the Thief funny?" No, Thief is not funny. Thief is a gritty drama about a safecracker. Right, Greg?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it
it came out in 1981. Directed by Michael Mann, who directed Heat. And yeah, James Caan, just fresh out of the joint. Willie Nelson's his old partner. He's stuck in the joint still. And
Willie Nelson?
Yeah, he's in it.
Oh,
so is James Belushi. And James Caan owns a car dealership, and he's a professional safecracker also. And so speaking of those ATMs, like if James Caan actually got a hold of one, he would not be tricked by any die packs or anything.
I'm looking around because that sounds like somebody's coming in here. Anyway,
really?
Well, there's my landlord's brother-in-law is upstairs, so it could be just him. Which is interesting because he watches Entertainment Tonight because I hear the show theme song whenever we're doing the show, and I didn't even know that show was still on the air. Is Mary Hart still hosting it?
No.
That shit. Mario Lopez? No, that's extra. Okay. So Thief. The problem with Thief is that for a 6th grader who's seen his first rated R movie, you know, the main thing you want to see when you're in 6th grade is naked women if you're a man. You know, I was hoping to see some breasts in this movie. And it turns out instead it was some kind of hard-hitting drama where a lot of long conversations between characters and realistic conversations between characters in diners and stuff. Like the worst thing for such a disappointment for me. But then Dad took me to see The Howling. And that was like what I was talking about. I also saw Conan the Barbarian with Dad, which I remember vividly. And that was another.
Just you and him?
As far as I know. You know, if we asked Dad, he would say, I have no recollection of that. I never saw that movie. He really would. He'd be like, I never saw Conan the Barbarian. I never took you to the movies. But he did. He took me to see Conan the Barbarian, which was also had a lot of nudity in it, which was great for me. But yeah, Thief was a nightmare.
Well, there was lots of welding tools being used in realistic manners. 6th
grade, yeah, like we want to see realistic welding. You can't whoop off to realistic welding.
And the soundtrack's by
unless you're a steampunk. Actually, what am I talking about? Steampunks can.
The soundtrack is by Tangerine Dream.
Oh yeah.
Got me
which
like.
Is like like synth 80s synth like soundscapes.
And interestingly, Michael Bay produced the film along with James Caan.
Oh, interesting.
And so Michael Mann was like talking to Michael Bay to try to get the co-lead besides James Caan. And he's like, is it normal you have to interview 75 to 80 actors and still not find the right actor? Because he was trying to find this character actor to be opposite James Caan. And he's like, yeah, keep going. You'll find him.
Oh, really? Who did he choose?
You have to see the movie. He's awesome. He's like this. I guess he had only been on the stage in theater. This is his first movie. And it's this like gray-haired Lynch kingpin who hires James Caan to do a job for him. So that's how James Caan gets screwed up, because he does a job for like a mafioso type guy, and then the mafioso guy doesn't give him his money.
Typical.
Yeah.
Typical mafioso. So listen to this. Next week, we're about to roll some clips for you guys. Next week, I'm going to be in. Look at all this stuff. How Hi, Aunt Kath. That's Kate. She's talking about my dad sounds like a hoot. Our dad sounds like a hoot. You know, sometimes he is. He actually is a hoot in small doses and in big doses. He's probably going to hear this. So Dad is the best. He's a hoot nonstop. So anyway, I wanted to say that I'm going to be in Nashville this Sunday at the 5 Spot to do a half-hour acoustic performance. And then that's Sunday, September 26th in Nashville at the 5 Spot. And that's Greg's birthday as well. And then next Wednesday, the 26th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 30th, I guess? No, 29th? I can't remember. Wednesday of next week, I'll be doing a show at the East Room. And I'll be doing stand-up and playing music.
That should be the 29th, yeah.
Is that the 29th?
3 days after Sunday.
Yes, it is. It's Wednesday the 29th.
Oh, okay.
Nashville,
Thank you.
Tennessee.
So thank you. Wednesday the 29th at the East Room in Nashville with the band Peachy opening up, who are a great band and kind of a punk band of young people. And then I will perform, and it's vaccinated only and proof of a negative test thing. So, because I don't want to die, I just want to entertain some people. Okay, and now, without further ado, we're gonna do some of the traditional cold brew got me like. Oh, and that's why next week either there will be no show or the show will be on Tuesday next week. So how's everybody in the Power Directors doing? Pretty good. James Caan is better than Shia LaBeouf. Well, no shit. Who else? Oh, Gem City Record Collector says, I saw Conan for the first time recently. It ruled. Yeah. That was a good movie. I mean, it was definitely action. It's directed by the guy, John Milius. You know about him, Greg?
Yeah, good call. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like one of these guys who was like, I don't know, one of these macho guys, kind of a Sam Peckinpah type guy, running around thinking film directors had to be toxically masculine, which I think probably they still do. But, he was just like...
John Milius episode. It's pretty on brand. I think we should do one.
Are you talking again on the show, Eric?
Yes, I want a John Milius episode. I want John Milius content on the show.
Okay, you can do it on your own show. Please turn your microphone on.
I've seen that documentary.
I'm just kidding, Eric. I think that's John Milius' show. I mean, what did he direct besides Conan? Go ahead, Eric.
Some cop drama or something.
Eric, come back. I heard Eric's feelings. Eric. Oh, wow.
He's
Silent treatment from the producer. All right. Well,
John, I'm glad to hear you're coming to Nashville. That's cool. And, things are getting back to normal slowly but surely.
He directed Red Dawn. Am I not on the show? Red Dawn.
Yeah, Red Dawn. Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Okay, so yeah, he directed Red Dawn. Whatever. He was one of those guys who kind of like Ernest Hemingway, just had to shoot elephants to prove he was, I don't know, wasn't gay for some reason. That was the something I learned about authors and things is back in the day it was considered back then effeminate or not masculine to be an author or an artist. So these people felt like they had to compensate by being monsters to prove that they weren't gay. And I didn't realize that. And that's why a lot of authors drank very heavily, because authors back then, even journalists, that was considered to be a less than manly profession. So they'd be like, oh yeah, well, watch me, fight a bull or shoot a gun or whatever the fuck else you're supposed to do if you're a man in cartoon world. Anyway,
he also wrote Apocalypse Now. I think that's the important thing. He wrote Apocalypse.
Oh, okay. He did?
Yes.
Well, he wrote Apocalypse Now, but he also was he's just one of those guys who's like, if you watch his old commentary on movies, he's like, man, we were having sex with prostitutes the whole time. One of those things. There was I was barely any time to write. I was so drunk. Anyway, it was it was like you had to put in all this bullshit about how you're not gay, and it was very important that men felt like you know what I mean. Anyway, John Milius, So, ladies and gentlemen, let's check out this. Let's check out the wrestling promo first. This is known as the world's worst wrestling promo, and it's by a guy named Jumpin' Jeff Farmer.
Earlier, we talked to Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Let's go now to that interview.
Well, closet. Sorry, it's just on the it's known as that on the internet. That's what it says. It's known as that by the person who posted it. So let's start it again. It's pretty boring. It's just an example of a guy who, not everybody can act. Let's put it that way.
Cold brew got me like.
Oh, wait, let's leave this guy on this. Okay, no, doesn't matter.
Talk to Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Let's go now to that interview. Folks, there's Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Jeff, a while back, what a match you had with Motley.
Yep. Probably the hardest match I ever had in my life. But I don't like it when things aren't going my way. Motley Cruz, you turn the tables on me. You turn the tables in a wrong way. You got me mad now. I've stood around. I've listened to everything you had to say. I did everything necessary. But when you turn around and you backstab me one way or another, and you cheat me out of what's rightfully mine, that's when I get angry. Now I'm the one doing the challenging. I'm issuing a challenge to you, Motley Cruz. Get in the ring with me. This time, I'm going full force.
Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Now let's go to the ring.
I don't think anyone who's genuinely angry has ever said they're going to go full force. I mean, maybe. But it seems like an odd choice of words if you're really mad.
My favorite part is that guy who's intensifying everything that he's saying. Like, the expression of the announcer's face is the best part of that clip for me.
Well, yeah, he's trying not to laugh. And he's trying not to think about how his job is going to be in jeopardy in about 2 weeks when that wrestling promotion folds.
Earlier we talked
because they have talent like that guy. I can't remember what wrestling promotion this is, but yeah, this guy's doing his best to look like Dan Rather while he's listening to like a 8-year-old. Anyway, that's just sort of a throwaway thing. I mean, there's an example of a bad actor.
He seems a little bit nervous too, maybe. Like he.
Oh yeah, quite nervous. Yeah, he doesn't know how to. He can't say his words actually are not that bad. You can't swear on television, so that's why he says full force and stuff. You know, anybody who's genuinely angry would not say any of the stuff wrestlers say. They would say, "You motherfucker." You know, they have to like clean it up, so they have to use kind of like antique. You know, to be incredibly angry like these wrestlers are, and they're claiming they want to kill people, but they're not swearing. I mean, that's unusual.
His name's Jumpin' Jeff Flowers or something, right?
Jumpin' Jeff Farmer.
Yeah.
Jumpin'. I mean, that's not. Yeah. Jumpin'. It's not very threatening.
So, being the aficionado that you are, did he have a career? This guy, Jumpin' Jeff Farmer.
I don't know. You know, he may have changed his name. You know, wrestlers change their names. Wrestlers have a lot in common with porn stars that way. Wrestlers change their names many times during their career. And Jumpin' Jeff Farmer may very well have come back as the Iceman or something in another promotion. And maybe he learned how to do a promo better. Maybe he was just starting out. But whatever it is, it's a very unusual cadence.
Sorry, Radical Dinosaur says, seems like Canadian wrestling. Is that accurate?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it could be. That guy on the left looks Canadian, but I don't know why. I mean, based on nothing, he looks Canadian. I mean, he looks like he could be a hockey coach. He looks like a hockey coach that might have been disgraced for like loading up the pucks. And that's how he ended up being this guy. He was like a disgraced hockey coach because he was putting cork in the pucks. I don't know how to load up a puck. I don't know what way you would. Is there a way to manipulate pucks? Anyway, talk about it in the. Hopefully the power directors have some information about how, you know what I mean? Like if you put cork in a bat.
Yeah, of course.
What's the equivalent of that in hockey? Like putting lead in the stick or something?
Yeah, Yeah, you put cork in the puck, it's going to fly out of the arena.
Putting dynamite in the other team's sticks. So this guy probably was a hockey coach. He put dynamite in the handles of the other team's sticks, and a lot of them were killed. And that's how he ended up having to be a wrestling announcer. And he's obviously very upset. And he's also in the witness protection program, so I think that's a fake beard. Anyway,
he does
Jumpin'
a good
Jeff
job
Farmer
of selling it, though.
He had to. If he cracked, they'd have to pack up and go home. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, why am I saying ladies and gentlemen? Okay. So we're gonna do something a little better than that. That was just a little warm up. That was an appetizer. That was a loaded baked potato, and now here comes the pot roast. Damn, this coffee's strong.
Cold brew got me like.
Stumptown, the world's worst coffee.
Are you sure that's not concentrate? You're supposed to dilute it?
No, Jot. I got some Jot over here, though. Kablow!
Oh, you're actually going to drink it?
Cold brew got me like.
Maybe one is back up. In case the show went south.
I thought you were up for 3 days after that show.
Yeah, I know, but this is show business. You got to do it. That's what they say. Show business. You got to do it. Yeah, this is just in case the show goes south. I'm gonna, it's always fun to watch a guy have a nervous breakdown, so I can drink that if things go real rough. All right, so now we're gonna watch something real good. We're gonna watch. You guys remember when we watched a long time ago? We watched some Paranormal Chat. A couple of weird ladies sitting around a graveyard. This is kind of similar. This is one of these local man on the street type shows where, some local, it's like Trailer Park Boys. There's the reporter that comes to the trailer park and does the report on the Kittyland Love Center. It's like that kind of guy, like a local guy who like goes around and he's like, well, anyway, just let's watch it. But,
That's how not to edit.
well, I just like that he picks that picture. He obviously thinks that's the sexiest picture of himself. He chose it for the last one.
Mike Romai. Today we venture inside of Moraine State Park, where, according to local legend, strange things occur here at the Snyder Cemetery. We'll talk about white flashes, green glowing, and red eyes. And if you see any of that behind me, please let me know. In fact, this cemetery is the final resting place of 14 members of the Snyder family. We're filming here with the permission of the State Park Service. And since the cemetery has been vandalized numerous times, we decided not to divulge the exact location of the site out of respect for the dead. It should be noted that in researching the Snyder family history, which dates back to around 1800 when Conrad Snyder Sr. first arrived in Butler County, that there is no mention of a fire that took the lives of any of the family members at this site. But then again, facts never did get in the way of telling a good ghost story. We're going to be joined in our search tonight, in our exploration, if you will, by the Spirited Ghost Hunting Group of Western Pennsylvania and Eastern Ohio. This group has made numerous visits to this cemetery. It's Rochelle, Wendy.
Can you pause it real quick? Now, is there any reason that just because you're a ghost hunting group in like, sort of not a major urban area, that you have to dress like absolute shit? Like, is there any reason you have to look like these people look like shit. And that man on the left, that's the best fitting shirt they had for him. Anyway, and the guy in the middle is supposed to be the hot guy. I just like that he's the local celebrity guy, so he's wearing a leather blazer. He's supposed to be the hot one here. He's supposed to be the one with the charisma. Also, I'm sure it's going to be really hard to find the Snyder burial ground when you've just fucking shown the whole thing. I mean, it's like, we're not going to divulge the location. I mean, how hard would it be to find? Now they've shown it. I mean, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I just think also, though, I just mainly think, couldn't these people have dressed up? They're going to be on television, for God's sake. This is a big break for them.
Was this on YouTube or was this before
yes,
YouTube?
But it was shot in whatever town this is. I think it's in somewhere in Pennsylvania. And this guy just decided, I don't know, this guy in the leather vest or the leather coat decided he was like some kind of hotshot, wants to be a junior Ryan Seacrest. He's working his way up. First thing you got to do is get a leather blazer. But anyway, these people, man, I mean, they look like I don't know what they look like. They look terrible. Anyway,
well,
go ahead. They're just dressed so bad.
Wait a second. They have outfits on, don't they?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But they couldn't get the guy on the left. Those are
T-shirts. Does it say Ghost Hunter Crew on those T-shirts?
What size did the guy on the left request? I mean, when they were getting the custom-made shirts, it'd say like Ghost, Troop or whatever they're called, or Ghosty Ghosts or what. I don't know what they're, probably Paranormal Pennsylvania or something. So they're like, oh, we want 12 shirts that say Paranormal Pennsylvania, and they couldn't. What size did that guy? Is he delusional? Did he say he wanted a small or something? It's painted on. It looks like he's wearing body paint.
Well, he looks a little nervous to be on camera too.
He should be. I'd be nervous too if I was wearing body paint. Cemetery. It's disrespectful. Anyway, I just can't believe how badly dressed they are. Just because you're in Pennsylvania doesn't mean you can't snap it up a little bit. It's not liberal to look good.
Well, lots of jeans.
Oh, that's a fucking, pre-washed. These are the kind of people who just pick up a pair of jeans and are like, these look fine. You know what I mean? They're just like, stonewashed. Well, never heard of those. I guess I'll buy them. Like, oh, these are not the style I usually get, but so what? Okay. So this gets real good when they start talking.
And Jim joined me tonight. Rochelle, tell us a little bit about the Snyder Cemetery.
We heard it through the internet about 2-3 years ago that it was haunted. So we made a trip down here after several failed attempts trying to find it. And it was an amazing place.
Okay, pause it real quick.
As soon as it starts to get dark.
Couple things, Eric. Well, you need a sample of her saying we found it through the internet. The other thing is, if you're a ghost hunter who can't, how many times have you made multiple failed attempts to go somewhere in recent history and failed? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we tried to get to that. We've gone 3 times to try and get to that cemetery in 2018, but we failed. It's not like they're taking a wagon. Anyway, it doesn't inspire confidence as far as I'm concerned in their ghost hunting ability that they can't even find the goddamn cemetery.
SD Charlie says it took them 3 years because they were traveling from Kazakhstan.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, but there's no way. No, people in Kazakhstan have got to dress better than these people.
Oddcast says it's a secret location.
It's a secret location that anybody can see from Google Earth. Okay, so go ahead. Let's hear more about this lady who can't find cemeteries.
Dark things start happening. You start feeling that there's a presence here. Sometimes you just want to get out. I mean, you can't stick around. It's just that feeling. We've seen things, we've felt things, we've heard things. I don't know if you want more detail than that.
Well, I don't know, because so far what we felt, and we have felt the mosquitoes in the area. It's quite a humid night here, but there are noises going on all around us. I think they're noises of nature, and of course the mosquitoes, it seems, are buzzing around. But what you guys have experienced is quite different than that.
Oh yeah, definitely. We've actually felt touches that weren't mosquitoes, that weren't bugs. You actually feel pressure, a hand, a touch. We have seen a fog that will float through, which a lot of people have described seeing here. We've seen lights. We've seen red lights. I'm not sure if they would be eyes. Would you guys call them eyes? No?
Not really.
Kara, have you seen eyes?
No, I have not seen eyes, but we have seen red lights in here. Red glowing lights. We've seen the fog, as Rochelle had mentioned. We've seen dancing, floating.
Oh, wait, hold on a second.
I hate to use the word.
The lights, Were there two of them? And was the fog coming out of a pickup truck? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was a fog and a rumbling, and there were two red lights. Anyway, I'm not a skeptic, but I just love that the showbiz guy's got to be a skeptic. It's always like, he's like, what would Ryan Seacrest do? He would be like, mosquitoes.
It's true.
Yeah, he's got to be like, ghosts.
Well, and they just myth busted their own crew. It's like, those weren't red eyes. Those were just lights and fog.
I just like they were. Well, they're trying to keep it real. So like, it's nice that the other people weren't like, yeah, they were red eyes. Like, she was like, would you guys call them eyes? They're like, no. So they're keeping it like they're trying to tell the truth, which I like. But that guy, the bald guy with the small shirt, he seems, I don't know. Has he said anything yet? I'm excited to hear his perspective on.
That's what SD Charlie says. That goatee guy hasn't mansplained anything yet. Amazing restraint.
Yeah, it's probably like I think he probably has maybe nervous. I wonder if that woman, well, who knows? Let's see.
Orb, but I guess that's how we would describe them.
And you see these as naturally as we're standing here looking at one another. It's not something that just occurred on a piece of film and it could have been condensation or anything like that. You actually witnessed these.
Yes, we actually witnessed these. And one thing about our group, we don't use a lot of flashlights, a lot of fancy equipment, that sort of thing. So we can more often than not discount reflection. I don't know. When you see it with your own eyes, it's kind of hard to say something different.
Jim, most people don't like to come to cemeteries in broad daylight. They just don't like it. It feels funny.
They don't use any fancy equipment like flashlights.
Yeah.
Why do you keep coming back?
Well, you got to research the unknown. I mean, there's something out there. You're trying to just settle it for yourself and prove something to yourself and find out what's going on.
You're a pretty big guy.
That's why they didn't let him
ever
talk.
scared you out here?
Nothing out here. Usually the things that scare me are the living.
Take that back.
Someone
I want
walks
to hear
out
what
from
that guy
behind.
said. That was some serious gibberish.
Most people don't like to come to cemeteries in broad daylight. They just don't like it. It feels funny. But you guys come here at night.
What?
Yeah.
Why do you keep coming back?
Well, you got to research the unknown. I mean, there's something out there. You're trying to just settle it for yourself and prove something to yourself and find out what's going on.
You're a pretty big guy. Has anything ever scared you out here?
Nothing out here. Usually the things that scare me are the living. Like someone walks out from behind a tree that you're not expecting. That more gets me than seeing the fogs floating through or the red lights.
And so, Wendy, how many times have you been to the Snyder Cemetery?
How often does that
What have you
happen?
experienced?
I've actually been here several times, maybe a couple dozen times.
That's so funny.
I come during the day.
Why did that guy bury he's a terrible journalist. I want to know more about when this guy's getting scared by people coming out behind trees. This guy's an idiot. All he's done is make jokes so far. And look at that. Why is everybody everybody in America is wearing ill-fitting clothing. Everybody in this video should be ashamed of, all need tailors. And I'm not saying obviously I'm not expecting a Pennsylvania ghost hunting team to be able to afford tailors, but they could have at least gotten a tailor for this main guy. And look at his haircut from the side. What is that flap on the front? I don't like that, man. Okay, can we take it back? I want to hear that guy again talk about when he's scared when people come out from behind trees.
Just settle it for yourself and
I want to hear
prove something to yourself and find out what's going on.
You're a pretty big guy. Has anything ever scared you out here?
Nothing out here. Usually the things that scare me are the living. Like someone walks out from behind a tree that you're not expecting. That more gets me than seeing the fogs floating through or the red lights.
And so, Wendy, how many times have you been to the Snyder Cemetery, and what have you experienced?
I've actually been here several times, maybe a couple dozen times. I come during the day, I come in the evening, but I'm attracted to the cemetery. I feel drawn here, like there's some sort of connection. But when I started hearing the ghost stories of Snyder's, I wanted to experience something or find out if there's any truth. And I did experience other things like Karen and Rochelle was saying, but I did have an experience here that was worse. Physical. Yeah, physical experience that was very
Could
worse.
you please stop saying experience?
This is going to sound crazy.
Okay, hold on one
this
second. Can we pause it? I've got an idea for a show, and I'd like the power director's info on it. We can do it as an initial public offering once Cold Brew Got Me like really takes off. But I think we should do a makeover, combine a paranormal ghost hunting with a makeover show, because I want to see somebody come out and make these people over. And I want somebody to make this lady on the right here, who seems like a nice person, cut that 9-foot ponytail hanging out of her back of her head. I mean, that's the kind of thing where she's like, I've been growing this since I was a cheerleader. And so, you know what I mean? You got to get a gang of people to be like, it's like an intervention. It looks like shit. It's too long and it's dry on the ends. It's just not meant to be so long. I promised my mama I'd never cut it before she got run over by a tractor. And I said I'd never cut it. Well, you've been single and complaining about it for 9 years. Anyway, I want to do a makeover ghost hunting show. And what's it called? This is fun. What's the name of the show? Well, let's think about it.
Queer Eye for Dead Guys. That's what AC 131 says.
Oh, I was like, Greg, pulling that out. Yeah, like, or so that's Queer Eye for Dead Guys is all right. Or like, how about oh God, there's got to be a good name for it.
Paranormal Eye for the Living Guy.
I've had too much Cold Brew to think of a good name. Let's
Aunt Cass says Ghost Farts.
Too abstract.
But this cold brew has made you into a fashion Nazi.
Well, I just think, there's not a whole lot to look at. So far, they haven't produced a single ghost or anything. They're just sitting there. I'm just looking at them. They're the main part. They haven't shown one single paranormal thing yet. All they've said is that they have seen a bunch of stuff and they're interested in stuff. And they've said, this woman said experience about 98 times, but we haven't gotten any actual red eyes or anything. So I'm just looking at their outfits. What else is there to look at? They're standing in front of a fucking wall. I mean, once they introduce more things into this show, then I'll talk about it. But this is a TV program for us too. We got to talk about something. Although I did pick this video. Oh, well. Okay, let's roll it again.
Firstly happened. The fog, like they were mentioning, strange fog rolled in, and I'm trying to step out of the way to get away from this fog like it's coming to me. Well, I start back the trail, and I got my camera hanging on my wrist, and I'm trying to snap pictures as I'm trying to move out of the way. Well, to cut a long story short, it latched onto my leg. A fog latched onto my leg. But it's almost like, when a child grabs a hold of your leg, it was like that, but it was strong. It was very strong. I get back to my van. The fog lifts. I manage to snap pictures of this fog. And when I get in my van, then when I go home. Well, the next morning when I get up, I'm feeling sore. So I check myself, and I had bruised all the way from my hip all the way down, and it's some parts wrapped around. So I know from my experience of that, that was me, and it was real, and I was here, and I can just say for myself that yes, I had a real true experience here. Wow. A physical experience like that.
I wasn't here when it happened, but I believe her 100%. Yeah.
See, when she started saying that, I was going to say it was Rochelle. Rochelle actually kicked you.
No, I wasn't here.
There he goes.
It was her
again.
husband,
there he goes
and he wasn't near her at the time. No.
Dickhead.
Yeah, no, it happened.
Well, I would say, okay,
we have
can
no
pause
reason
it.
to lie
I think
about
this
these
is
photographs of it.
they're not really a very good group here.
Like that.
I'm not
it was
excited
just
about what they're saying.
And so massive.
And I also wonder, how strong was this ghost if she was able to get to her van? This thing pulled on her hard enough to bruise her whole leg, and she still managed to drive home?
Well, I think that's pretty shocking information to me. I think this whole video just livened up quite a bit, actually. How often do you see a video, a lady say that she's been gripped by a fog, and she gets a bruise from it? So this is a payoff.
I guess you're correct. I was having more fun making fun of their outfits. I'm extremely disappointed by this strong fog. And I do not believe what she's saying at all. And I believe in ghosts. And I do not believe this at one bit. Well, I do not believe she was gripped by a fog, first of all. Second of all, I don't believe that if a fog gripped her, she'd be able to get to her van. If there's some fog that knows how to grip people, then you're not going to be seen again. There's no fog that's like gripping you for a minute.
Well, I don't think gripping a fog that grips you is going to keep you necessarily hold you in place if it's a ghost fog.
Well, it's hard to say. There's a lot of rules.
I mean, this whole thing resonates with me because
Can you please hit the cold brew got me like button?
Cold brew got me like.
You have the Texas where you hit the Texas where I am.
It's Texas where I am.
What about you, bloody fool?
Oh, you bloody fool?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have that door banging, do you? Bloody fool's good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
no, I just have one more thing to say about that. Vicksburg, Mississippi, they have the Confederacy lost in Vicksburg. They surrendered. And so I went to this house. That each section of the house was from the 16th century, 17th and 18th. And this guy I was a newspaper reporter, and he was telling me, you got to come back when it's open. He's like, we have ghosts in the backyard. They're actual trenches from the Civil War that still exist back there. And he showed me some photographs of soldiers in the form of gas, clouds, ghosts, mist. Mist is what I'm looking for. Right, and so so seeing a soldier as mist, this is all coming back to me now that I'm seeing this video, like a gripping type smoke that holds a gun, perhaps.
I mean, I do believe in ghosts, but I don't know. I don't necessarily buy. I mean, that woman doesn't seem like she's lying, but it seems like she might have. I don't know how she would get bruises like that on her, but I don't know. This fucking host is no help. He doesn't ask any good questions. He's just waiting for an opportunity to make a joke. If I were this ghost hunting group, I'd be like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! Stop making jokes." He hasn't asked a single. He has no interest in ghosts. He's trying to climb the showbiz ladder with jokes about mosquitoes.
I would have asked her friend, like, well, why didn't you, don't you guys live near each other? Why didn't you see the bruise?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Just like, I believe her 100%. I
mean, aren't
that's
you in a
good.
ghost club where you're going to talk about this huge event? Aren't you on a team?
Yeah.
What happened to the teamwork?
Exactly. Let's roll a little bit more since it's the end of the show. Let's give it another. I'm actually kind of, since you pointed out that this is actually when the video got good, and I want to cut it off right when it got good, because all I want to do is make fun of their outfits. Let's listen to a little bit more of it. Hey, thanks you guys for watching. And I'll see you in Nashville, and we'll be back next week on Tuesday, or we might skip a week, but I think we'll be back next Tuesday. And let's watch a little bit more, and then wrap it up.
One day, but there's no mention of that. However, this is the family cemetery.
It is the family cemetery, and apparently in the back here were the homes.
Okay.
There was a foundation somewhere back here. They did live here, and just like in the olden days that they buried their dead on their property. I don't know what caused their deaths. Gary Snyder might know because he is one of their descendants. He's still alive, and he's part of our forum on our website. Mm-hmm. And he has shared with us a lot of information. A lot of it I can't remember because it's gone, in and out one ear.
Nice.
But I do know that I don't know how anybody died, but I do know that this place is haunted. Why? I don't know. I don't even know if it is actually the Snyder Cemetery family members that are haunting the place. It could be.
Here comes his joke.
Could be anything. It could have been settlers. Anything from other areas drawn to us when we come here.
And what kind of equipment do you use to try and detect these things? Or is it basically you just try and see things and experience things with your own eyes?
We have caught things on our equipment. and you can use you can write anything off on equipment, just about. EVPs, I would say,
All
which
right,
is
let's fast forward it just for the fun of it. We
They're
got
pro-
one more minute. Pull this thing out. Pull this thing. Like,
yeah.
let's see if they
Do you
show anything.
Think that we're not alone as we stand here?
I don't feel like anybody's here. I mean, I don't have the creeps, but then again, nothing really happens until night when nightfall comes, and then we're all like, there's been times we've sat here all night long and not felt scared, but heard and felt things. And there's been times that we've just like, get out. We got to go. We got to leave.
Are they angry spirits? You get the feeling of anger?
No, it's the feeling of just leave.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's just get out. I don't know if they're angry.
Okay,
I don't
hold
know
on.
what the feeling is, but I mean, it's not just one of us.
I mean, I would classify a ghost fog that grips you so hard it bruises your whole leg as slightly hostile. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're not angry. When was the last time you were gripped by a ghost fog? Power directors.
I think the only creeps that are actually at the cemetery are these fools.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed. I mean, I feel like let's fast forward to the very end of this thing. How long is this thing anyway? 12 minutes or something? Can you drag it all the way to the end, Eric? I just want to see if they produce anything.
Oh, wow.
Oh, here we go. They're in the dark.
Was paranormal, or if it was a glare, or you know, a bug, or what is it? But that was an odd situation where it wasn't something that normally occurs on our video cameras.
And do you ever think that 100 years from now that there's going to be a group just like yours, maybe walking around the cemetery, wherever we're buried, doing the same thing?
I hope.
I should hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah, is that right?
I hope so. And I'm going to say hi.
I'm going to say boo.
Yeah, boo. That's the best one, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Snyder
well,
Cemetery
next
at
week
Moraine
we're gonna
State
watch.
Park.
Next week we're gonna watch more of this same group. In fact, the show Cold Brew Got Me Like from now on will be nothing but this ghost hunting group. And
Cold
I would
Brew
like to
Got
take
Me
credit
Like.
for picking that clip because it was incredible. What a fucking thrill ride.
Clearly, it was fueled by cold brew. Clearly.
People will not forget that clip anytime soon. Thank you guys very much for being here. We'll see you next Tuesday. And if you are in Nashville, come on out Sunday at the 5 spot or Wednesday, the 29th at the East Room. Thank you so much.
Cold Brew
Thanks
got
for
me
coming
like.
to the show.